Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the darkness. I've always believed dreams were just harmless stories our brain told us at night. Random, meaningless, forgotten by morning. But 3 months ago, my dreams stopped being dreams and started becoming warnings. It began with something small. I dreamed of a red door, just a red door, standing in the middle of a long, empty hallway. The air in the dream felt wrong, too cold, too still. Every time I tried to walk away from that door, something pulled me back toward it, like invisible hands hooked into my ribs. I woke up sweating, but forgot about it by breakfast. The next afternoon on my way to work I froze. There it was, the same red door, not in a hallway, but in the alley behind my building. Fresh paint, same height, same scratch on the bottom right corner. My dream had copied itself into the real world. I tried to laugh it off, but deep inside something cracked open. Something I didn't know existed. I felt watched, like someone had reached inside my sleep and dragged a piece of it into daylight. That night the dreams returned. This time I wasn't alone. I heard breathing behind me, slow, heavy, measured, the kind of breathing someone makes when they're standing too close. So close their breath hits your neck before their voice ever does. But no matter how fast I ran, the breathing stayed right behind me. The dream didn't let me wake up. I could feel the floor beneath my feet, the cold texture, the echo of my steps. It was too real. Dreams aren't supposed to feel real. Then I heard it. A whisper, deep, scratched, broken. You can't hide from me anymore. I woke up screaming, but I didn't wake up in my bed. I woke up in the alley, right in front of the red door, still wearing what I wore to sleep. Barefoot, shivering, the door slowly creaked open by itself. I ran. I didn't stop running until I made it home. After that, sleep became the enemy. Every night the dreams grew stronger, more vivid, more physical. I wasn't just seeing things. Someone was controlling them, directing them, rehearsing them. Like each night was a new episode of a nightmare planned for me alone. And one night, I finally saw him. A tall figure standing in the corner of my dream, half hidden in shadow, watching me like a scientist watching an insect. His face, blurred, like static, but his eyes, God. His eyes, those were sharp, dark, focused, intelligent. Every time he moved his fingers, the world around me shifted. If he waved his hand, the dream changed. If he clenched his fist, I couldn't breathe. If he whispered, the walls bent like they were obeying him, and then he spoke directly to me. You are not dreaming. You are entering my world, and soon. I will enter yours. I wanted to wake up, but I couldn't. I was trapped. He stepped closer, and the air vibrated like a broken speaker. I've waited long enough. His hand reached toward my chest, and I felt it. Real pressure, real pain. My heart stuttered like it was trying to escape my ribs. I thought I was dying inside a dream. Then everything went black. When I opened my eyes, I was standing outside my apartment, in the exact clothes I wore in the dream. A long scratch across my chest, fresh, bleeding, and written on my door. In something dark. You can't wake up forever. For the first time in my life, I realized I wasn't dreaming at all. I was being hunted, and the place I felt safest, sleep, had become the weapon he used against me. Every night since then, he's gotten closer. Every day, something from the dreams appears in real life. I don't know how he's doing it. What he wants. But last night, he told me something that changed everything. Tomorrow, the red door opens for the last time. That sentence didn't leave my head. Not for a second, not for a breath. All day, those words echoed inside me like a ticking bomb. I couldn't focus, couldn't eat, couldn't even blink without imagining that door. That blood, red door, standing somewhere in the real world, waiting for me to come close enough for whatever was inside to finally step out. By nightfall, I was shaking so badly I could barely lock my windows. Every small sound felt like a warning. The creak of the floor, the hum of the old fridge, even the faint wind brushing my curtains. It all felt wrong. Tilting toward danger. I didn't want to sleep. God knows I didn't want to. But exhaustion is a monster stronger than fear. I lasted until 3:12 a.m. That's when the lights in my apartment cut out, not flickered, not dimmed, they died, and in the darkness I heard it. A soft, patient, knuckle tapping, tock, 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 my bedroom door. I froze, breath stopped. Heart locked inside my chest. I wanted to scream, but something inside me, instinct, survival, forced my hand over my mouth to stay silent. The knocking came again. Tock, tock, tock. But this time a voice followed it. A voice that wasn't outside the door. It was inside my head. You're already dreaming. I felt the world tilt. Literally tilt. Like gravity shifted sideways. My bed slid an inch. My breath fogged the air. The temperature dropped so fast my fingers stiffened. My room melted. The walls rippled like wet paint. The floor stretched into darkness. I wasn't in my apartment anymore. I was standing in a long, metallic hallway. Cold, narrow, echoing. Light flickered above me in a sick rhythm like it was breathing, and at the far end of the hallway stood the red door, only this time it wasn't silent. Something inside was pounding, hard, desperate, animalistic. With each hit, the walls shook. Bang, bang, bang. My throat tightened so hard I tasted blood. I whispered, voice trembling, "Why me? What do you want from me?" A low chuckle slid through the corridor, slithering through my ears, coiling around my spine. He was here. I could feel him before I saw him. You already know. I spun around. There he was, the man controlling my dreams. If he was even a man at all. His face was still blurred, but less than before. Now I could see the outline of a mouth, and it was smiling. His hands twitched at his sides like he was conducting invisible strings. Dreams obey me. And now, so will you. As he stepped closer, the hallway shrank, not visually, physically. The metal groaned, walls compressing like the whole place was inhaling me. I backed away, but every step I took made my legs heavier until my knees started to buckle. He lifted 2 fingers. Instantly, my body locked. Paralyzed, his voice seeped into my ears. You think your dreams are real because I made them real. But what happens when I make reality a dream? Suddenly, the pounding behind the red door grew frantic. Screams now, not hits. Someone was inside. Someone crying. Someone begging, "No. No, let me out, please." I felt my soul freeze. That voice was mine. I turned toward the door, my own voice screaming from the other side. The creature behind me whispered, "That's you. The you who should have stayed asleep." The pounding grew more violent, my voice breaking into agony. "Help me. Please, God, help me." My legs moved on their own. He was controlling my body like I was a puppet. He forced me to walk toward the red door. One dying step at a time. I clawed at the walls. I dug my nails into the metal. I tried to fight with every breath left in me. It didn't matter. I was no longer in control. He tilted his head, almost amused, and whispered, "Open it." I shook my head violently. "No. No, please." His hand rose. My hand rose. My fingers wrapped around the cold metal handle. The door vibrated beneath my touch. Like something huge, something starving, was pressed against it from the other side. My heart hammered like it wanted out. He leaned close, breath cold as ice on my neck, and murmured, "Tonight, you learn the truth." I screamed. I pulled my hand away, but he tightened control until my bones felt like they were cracking from the pressure. The door began to open. An inch, 2 inches, a hand, my hand, reached out from the darkness, but it wasn't human. It wasn't alive. It was pale, shaking, nails blackened like burnt wood. My own voice said, "He wants to take your place." Those words didn't sound like they were coming from behind the red door anymore. They felt like they were crawling inside my skull. The pale, shaking hand, my own hand from the other side, clawed at the doorframe, pulling more of itself into the light. Its fingers bent in unnatural angles like it had forgotten how human bones worked, and the skin, God, the skin looked like it hadn't seen sunlight in years. The me creature whispered again, voice raw and cracking like broken glass. "Don't let him." Open the door. But I wasn't opening the door. I was being forced to open it. The tall figure behind me tightened his invisible grip. My knees slammed against the ground. My arm jerked forward, inching the door wide enough for the other me to pull itself halfway out. I screamed and tried to pull back, but it was useless. My arm moved with a slow, robotic stiffness controlled by him, by the thing that lived in my dreams. He leaned close to my ear, his blurred face inches from mine. "You're split," he whispered, "half here, half inside." My heart hammered so violently I thought it would tear itself apart. The creature that looked like me dragged its face forward, and when the light hit it I almost vomited. My face but gaunt, rotten, sunken cheeks, purple veins crawling under the skin like worms, eyes completely black, no whites, no pupils, just endless night, and yet in those dead black eyes I saw something familiar, fear, not fear of me, fear of him, the creature, my dream double. Raised a trembling finger at the tall, shadowed, blurred man behind me. He's not from the dream. He's from before the dream. Before, what did that mean? The tall figure chuckled, a deep, vibrating sound that rattled the metal walls. Tell him. The creature clutched its chest, gasping like invisible needles were stabbing into its lungs. I was the first. Its voice cracked, blood dripped from its mouth, dark, thick. The first version of you he took. My stomach twisted. No, that's not possible. The man behind me spoke, his voice both near and far, like it came from every direction at once. Dreamers are doors. He stepped beside me, placing a long, cold hand on my shoulder. Some doors open to dreams. Yours opens to me. I shook my head. I didn't want to understand, but the creature kept talking, desperate, dying. He traps you in your sleep, then replaces you outside it. My heart stopped. Replaces. The creature pointed to itself with a trembling, broken finger. This is what happens when he fails. It lunged forward suddenly, not to attack, but to grab me. Its cold hands gripped my face, and then I saw everything. Like a slideshow of nightmares burned into my eyes. It wasn't a person. It wasn't a demon. It wasn't a ghost. It was a collector. A being that lived between sleep and consciousness, feeding on versions of people when they were most vulnerable, replacing them one by one in the waking world, and the creature gasped the final truth. He needs a body, and he chose yours next. The tall man behind me whispered, voice smooth as poisoned honey, I don't kill you, I overwrite you. The creature convulsed violently, its skin tearing, its bones snapping inward, its body folding like paper being crushed by invisible force. It screamed a sound no human throat should ever make, and then it vanished. The hallway fell silent. The only sound was my heartbeat and his voice. You opened the door. He stepped in front of me. For the first time I saw his face, not blurred, not shadowed. His face was my face perfectly, my skin tone, my jawline, my exact eyes, except his were empty. He smiled with my mouth. Now I walk into your world. Metal hallway collapsed around us like shattered glass. A roaring wind sucked everything into a dark void. I tried to wake up. I begged my body to wake up. But the darkness grabbed me, pulling me backward as he stepped forward, toward the light, toward my life. My last sight before I was swallowed whole was him wearing my smile as he whispered, stay asleep. That was the last thing I heard before the darkness swallowed me whole, before the world I knew slipped out of my hands and into his. Silence hit me like a wall, not peaceful silence. The kind that feels alive, breathing, waiting. I wasn't standing anymore. I wasn't lying down. I was just floating, weightless, trapped inside a black void so endless, it felt like time didn't exist here. My voice cracked as I whispered into the emptiness, hello. Anyone there? No answer, just the steady thump of my heartbeat, echoing unnaturally loud. Then a faint glow appeared beneath me, a dim white light, flickering like a dying bulb. I looked down. I wasn't floating. I was inside a glass box, a coffin-shaped container, suspended in the middle of the void. I slammed my fists against the glass. It didn't move. I screamed. The sound didn't travel. I was cut off from the world, cut off from myself, a prison, a sleep prison, and then the glass lit up, not from outside, from inside. Images projected onto the walls, scenes from my own life, except they weren't scenes of me. They were scenes of him living my life. I saw him, wearing my face, my clothes, my expressions, standing in my kitchen. He opened my fridge, ate my leftover dinner, checked my phone. He laughed, my laugh, but his eyes were wrong, hollow, empty, like someone wearing a human suit, hadn't fully learned how to imitate the soul inside it. He scrolled through my photos, pausing on one with my sister. He tilted his head, studied her, smiled. A cold shiver stabbed through me. No, stay away from her, I whispered, knowing he couldn't hear me. He would never hear me. My phone rang. It was my best friend, Aiden. Hey man, you okay? You haven't replied in 2 days. The thing inside my body mimicked my voice perfectly. Yeah, bro. I'm good. Just tired, but the tone was wrong, too flat, too calm, emotionless, but practiced. Aiden didn't notice. Why would he? It was my voice. He ended the call. The creature stared at the phone like it was studying human behavior, learning. I whispered, he's learning how to be me. The image changed. He walked into my bathroom and stood in front of the mirror, stared into the reflection, at my face. His expression dropped. The smile vanished, he whispered. But his voice wasn't mine. It was deeper, older, empty. This body fits. He touched my cheek, better than the last one. My stomach clenched. Last one. I remembered the pale, dying version of me that crawled out of the red door. You were the first one he took. Oh God, he'd done this before, many times. I wasn't the first, and I wouldn't be the last. The glass around me suddenly cracked, thin lines spreading like lightning veins. A loud boom echoed behind me. I turned. A red door appeared in the void. The same door from every dream, but now it wasn't closed. It was wide open. Darkness pouring out like smoke. A voice began whispering from inside the door. Soft, quick, overlapping whispers like hundreds of people speaking at once. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. I pressed my hands to the cracking glass. Help me, let me out. The whispers grew louder. Wake up. The glass shattered. I fell, but not down, not up, just forward, through the void, through the red door, through the darkness, into the real world. I gasped, choking on air as gravity slammed into me. My knees hit hard ground. I was outside, night sky above, cold wind on my skin. My body felt real again. I stood up, wobbling, breathing like I'd drowned and just crawled out of the ocean. And then I saw him, standing not far away in my body, wearing my clothes. His eyes widened. Just for a split second. With shock, he whispered, "Impossible." I stepped forward. "You said." My voice shaking with rage. "I'd stay asleep." He smiled slowly. "You were supposed to." His skin began to ripple, his face blurred. His body twitched like something inside was struggling to hold shape. He was losing control. I wasn't supposed to escape. I wasn't supposed to wake up. He lunged at me. I lunged back. Our bodies collided. Mine of flesh, his of stolen reality. And for a moment we weren't fighting physically. We were fighting for identity, for existence, for the right to be real. He snarled, "I am you." I screamed back, "No, you're not." The world trembled, concrete cracked, air warped, reality folded inward like a collapsing dream. It wasn't just a fight. It was a final choice. One of us would stay, one of us would vanish. His hands wrapped around my throats, squeezing hard, crushing, choking. But I remembered something the dying creature had said. He traps you in your sleep, then replaces you outside it. So I did the only thing left. I forced myself to wake up. I told my body to wake, my lungs, my heart, my mind. I screamed the command inside my skull. Wake up. A violent blast of light erupted around me. His grip loosened, his body flickered, breaking, glitching, dissolving. He whispered one last time, "No. Not again." And then he shattered, like glass. Pieces of him dissolved into the wind. Silence fell. I collapsed to my knees, shaking, crying, gasping. But I was alive. I was awake. I was me. It's been 3 weeks. No red doors, no dreams, no voices. But last night, I woke up with a message scratched into my bedroom wall, in my handwriting. 3 words. "You woke too early." And beneath it, painted in dark red, "Next time, don't fight." I don't know if he's still alive, or if there's another version of him waiting, but I do know this: if he ever gets in again, I might not wake up next time, and that's where it ends.